What's up, Rachel?
Rachel.
How are we?
First of all, there's never a bad time to have a margarita.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on, man. He don't know what he's
Now, he going to say what Rachel said, not what I said.
It's not that it's a bad time. There are more appropriate times than others.
You know how we know that he don't know? Because he got us working Monday. you know, we heard about it.
Joined by the brilliant Rachel Nichols, who has been covering this sport for a long time. You all know who she is. She needs no introduction. Rachel, want to start with you because you've been at different playoff games throughout the course of this offseason.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, you were at the Knicks game 1. So you've seen the playoff environments and the atmospheres. So starting with you, what did the Thunder's Game 2 performance tell you?
I mean, look, I picked the Thunder to win this series. I am not surprised at all by what is going on here. This is a team that won 16 more games than anyone else in the West this year. And by the way, more than 2/3 of their wins, double digits. That's how dominant this team is.
That matters.
They've got the MVP. They've got a deep roster that can roll 10 or 11 in the playoffs if they need it. And their defense, guys, is so good. It's like 7-on-5 out there.
Yeah.
And you know the Spider-Man villain, Dr. Octopus, right? That's what it feels like. There's just limbs everywhere. They force you into bad shots. They force you into turnovers. And here's a great stat for y'all, that the defense into offense for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Oklahoma City in this series so far has 53 points off of turnovers.
Oh, my God.
The Wolves have 20 points off turnovers.
Not gonna win like that.
So this game just told me what I thought, which was these Thunder are very good, and now that Boston's out there, the favorites to win the title. We're seeing what we were supposed to see.
And then just to piggyback on what Rachel said, she's right, because this, my opinion, when I watch the Thunder, it's not impressive to me, right? As far as we all like offense, we all like scoring. And it's like, who's going to be scoring? And normally you talk about matchups. In all sports, it's all about the matchups. But when you watch the Thunder, SGA going to get his points. He's going to do his thing, right?
Check.
And then not even Check, because, Check's going to play well here and there, right? Jay will, he might have a slow start. It's the defense. Because as much as we want to talk about offense, they might have these spurts where they're not scoring offensively, but they're scoring for turnovers. I was watching some of the times where, maybe they go through their offense and they might get a mismatch. I'm talking about them on defense. And maybe you got Julius Randle on a smaller guard. They don't matter, though, because now they throw the ball in, everybody is swarming to the ball, and then they create a turnover. And then one thing about them, they are so fast. It's like college again. It's up and down the court. So when we talk about this game, right, and watch them play, it's more of the defense, the energy playing together than anything. And that's why when we watch them, I think for the last 2 years, they're good with the record shows, they're really good, but they're not this great team. We don't believe in them. But when you really watch them, they're different than any other NBA team because you need the stars to arrive. And with them, they don't. They got one star that's going to always deliver, and they play well as a defensive group. And that's why I don't think they showed me yesterday, man, because I was all Ant-Man, this Ant-Man, that. Right? I'm ground like a Timberwolf and all that. It's a wrap. It is a wrap, Rachel, and I'm with you, and I apologize for saying otherwise.
You know what's crazy? When I watched the game, the only thing I noticed, or the thing I noticed first, the Thunder's mental fortitude is on a different level. Their ability to stay locked in for all 48 minutes of the game, it's what separates them right now from the competition, but I would suggest the rest of the field in the NBA. The score was 53-50. It was 28 seconds left. Shai Gilgeous, he hits the three, is 56-50. Hey, T-Wolves, end the game right, end the first half right, 56-50, about 9 seconds left. DiVincenzo offensive foul, just a lazy screen, didn't get his feet set. That's fine. Go get a lockdown possession on the other end. Then McDaniels, just a lazy foul. That's all it was. It was lazy. It was lazy. 2 consecutive mental lapses by the Timberwolves. And now what should have been potentially a 53-50 halftime lead, maybe a 53-50 halftime tie, maybe at worst a 56-50 or 56-52 halftime point spread in the Thunder's favor. Now it's a 58-50 ball game. The Timberwolves, you do not have the luxury based upon the talent deficit to throw away possessions. And I think the Timberwolves throw away possessions because of their lack of mental toughness, their lack of mental fortitude, and the Thunder stay locked in for nearly all 48 minutes of the game. Let those 2 plays and let those 2 positions be a microcosm of a macro issue that the Thunder possess and are able to inflict on the Timberwolves.
I tried to tell y'all game 1.
Who didn't listen?
And just to remind y'all, my dog Shady didn't listen, but just to remind y'all, I tried to tell y'all what was going to happen in this series, man. We could be without basketball very, very, very soon. That's the statement they made.
That's a statement?
That's a statement. We could be without basketball very, very, very soon. You know the worst thing as a team? is when you have to play perfect to win.
Yeah.
If the T-Wolves don't play perfect, they don't win. Randall balls the first game. You don't get a big-time game from Ant. The bench don't show up. You get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, bench plays well.
Yep.
Nas Reed and them boys, they played well. Ant played really well. Randall doesn't show up. He gives you 6 points, and you find yourself getting blown out. The only way they win a game in this series, and I'm not even going to say they win this series, a game in this series is if all the superstars at one time on their team ball out. They have to play perfect. They can't have your feet not set and get in the legal screen to end the quarter. You can't, because the way the OKC defends and scores the basketball off of turnovers, they have to play perfect. And that's the worst position to be in. Slick said it best, too, the other day. He said, the OKC Thunder coach was experimenting. He throwing dudes in there that don't never play because he already know these boys can't hang with us, man. He knows that. They can't hang with us. And they showing it.
Yeah.
They can't hang with us. You would be crazy to think that they going to go to Minnesota and get both those games against OKC. It's coming back to OKC 3-1.
The issue for me, though, Rachel, to what James said, I do not know that the Timberwolves play a brand of basketball that allows everybody to ball out simultaneously. When you watch the Pacers, they play a brand of basketball where everybody's going to get theirs. But even throughout the course of this playoffs, when Ant-Man had his 43-point game, Randall didn't go out there and thrive. When Randall has had his 28 and his 30-point games, Ant-Man hasn't gone out there and thrived. I don't know that the T-Wolves play a brand of basketball where everybody eats. Nas Reed can eat while Ant-Man is eating, because Nas Reed just hovers at the three-point line. Ant-Man drives kicks. If Nas Reed decides to shoot well from the three-point line that day, which he has in all series, if he decides to shoot well from the three-point line that day, he can eat. Even Chenzo can eat when Randall can eat. But I don't know if the T-Wolves play this collective, unified game of basketball, mass distribution that everybody can eat. If Ant eats, Randall don't eat. If Randall eats, Ant don't eat. At least that's how it's looked for the last 5 to 10 games. So James brings up a good point, but I don't know if we're going to see Randall, Ant, Nas, McDaniels, everybody eat simultaneously.
I don't know, man. I think there's enough food at the table for all those guys. That is a team where everyone knows their roles. They're a well-constructed roster. The issue is that Oklahoma City is much better. And look, y'all know from football, if you play this game and, you can't catch anything because the defense is disrupting all the passes, they're just giving you nowhere to go with the blocking, are you suddenly a bad receiver? Are you a bad running back? No, you're just playing an elite defensive team. That is what's happening. The Wolves are not a bad team. They're not poorly constructed. They're playing a team that is better.
Are they a dumb team? Because they do at times play dumb brands of basketball.
100%. Look, they played some dumb games against the Lakers and got away with it. They played some dumb games against the Warriors and got away with it. But you have to remember, too, you talk about Ant. Yes, he is one of those guys we look at as the next face of the league. He's got all this charisma. He's got some of the shots. He's got the potential. That doesn't mean that he has it now. He is 3 years younger than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those 3 years make a difference. That's true. He's still got to develop his skill when he's finishing at the rim. He's still got to develop sort of knowing timing of things. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can draw a foul. And by the way, that is part of the game. And Ant has to work on some of that also. So I think that he will look better in Game 3. He certainly went to the basket a ton more than he did in Game 1. When last night we saw him be more aggressive. The role players, I don't think they played that well last night, and I think they're going to play much better.
They play solid. They okay.
Yeah, they're going to play much better at home. I think Julius Randle is going to have a better game, but I still got to go with the Wolves.
And I'm saying this because she's right though. And I'm not going to make this a crash on Ant-Man because Ant-Man played well enough, right? But my thing is, you can't have only one starter with double digits. Everybody's at 6 points. You are a starter, okay? Start this game out the right way. You can't only have one player that started more than 6 points with Josh McDaniels. I need some of my guys to help me out. Because even though I look at the OKC, I don't see how much is a lot of scoring from everywhere else, but they play their role like SJ's gonna get his points. If you watch how the other role players get their buckets, I respect the way they're doing it because whenever I'm called on to hit the open shot, I'm hitting it. All the defensive assignments, defensive game plans is for SGA. The same way it should be for Randall and Anthony Edwards. And I need the guys to step in. There can't be a world where we're gonna beat a really, really good, young, athletic, running, fast defensive team and y'all not contributing.
Let's talk about Anthony Edwards for a moment, because I cannot lie. I came into this series without bias on Anthony Edwards one way or another. I didn't love him. I've
been trying to sell Ant-Man on him.
Every day.
I know who has bias on Anthony
Every
Edwards,
day.
and he's right there at the end of the table.
Exactly right. And so I'm not going to lie. Coming into this series with a blank canvas on Anthony Edwards, my opinion has changed. Absolutely. I thought Anthony Edwards was supposed to be this player that sits superior to every other player in the NBA, at least in the playoffs right now, based upon his youth and based upon his talent level. He's kind of entering what you might suggest is that peak or that pre-peak. He's 5 years into the league. He's 24 years of age.
Okay.
He went to the conference finals last year. So it's not as though he lacks experience. It's not as though he lacks youth. It's not as though he lacks health. Seemingly, he has done everything you were supposed to have done in order to escalate to that next tier of talent, and I haven't seen it. Meanwhile, Rachel, I came into the league with a blank canvas on Haliburton, and I've seen Haliburton escalate. I came into the playoffs with a blank-ish canvas on Brunson, but I was biased to Brunson because he'd already proven himself to be clutch, and I've seen Brunson escalate. So Ant-Man, I won't say I think less of him now than I did before the playoffs started. The problem is I think the same of him, and I think more of Haliburton. I think more of Brunson. I think more of his peers. So my opinion in perspective has changed.
Oh, real quick, Rich, because I like, he's always on this Ant-Man thing. I'm trying to figure out. So you say you don't think more of him, you think of the same of him?
Same of Ant-Man, 1,000%. He has done nothing this playoffs for me to go, Shady's right.
But you all see, this is my thing with him is like you always thought he was really, really good, correct?
Sure.
Because some other guys, right? We're just learning how good they really are.
Sure.
Brunson's probably my favorite player in the playoffs right now.
Yep.
And he's proven like, yo, he's the real deal.
Yep.
Because his journey.
Yep.
And then Haliburton, like, if you telling me that you always felt it about him.
It's the play.
Okay, so my thing is, I think it's still a credit to Ant-Man because for you to only be 23, 24 years old, and for you to say, yo, I look at him the same way as, okay, a 23-year-old, now you went for the West Conference Finals last year to this year, this is the worst we're ever going to see him. It's the worst we ever going to see him. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think what you trying to say, and how I hear it,
Talk to me,
is that you speaking good about him. Because all the other dudes had to prove to you that they was good, where you know Ant-Man was the truth.
The difference is...
Tell me the difference, Rachel. I'm trying to figure out, Rachel.
Y'all know this. That freshman in high school, that freshman in college, and they bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else. But then by their sophomore year, they didn't get bigger or faster or stronger. But the other people did. But he's same as Haliburton now. Same as Haliburton.
But they're different, though. For example, right? This is why I respect Ant-Man, because he reminds me of the old days. You're not going to ever pick on me. I watched when Brunson... When they're on the other side of defense, we're trying to find a way to get the mismatch on Brunson. On defense, we playing the Pacers, we're looking for Haliburton. So when you see them doing them pick and rolls, you see them do they flash and they run out of there like they Michael Vick because they don't want to guard. Ant-Man's like, okay, let me get him. Oh, we switching? Cool, I got him. So I respect that part. I'm a competitor, and I love how I do like that. He's 23, he ain't backing down. So maybe he don't win this series, right? Maybe that's cool, because Jordan didn't win all his series either.
Of course not.
But when he get there, I guarantee you gonna ride the Ant-Man train. You gonna ride it.
But not only that,
you gonna ride that train.
Choo
choo.
Who are you taking on your team right now, Ant or Hal?
Ooh.
It depends on the team around me. If I don't have a team of other dominant players, give me Haliburton. If I have a team of other dominant players, give me Ant.
See, but Ant can fit. See, that's real quick. Ant can fit anywhere though.
Because I think Haliburton makes everybody around him better. I do not believe Ant does that right now. I think if you look at
Why would you not believe that?
Because when I think about the Pacers, I do not know on the Pacers who else is like a dominant force. Pascal Siakam's been a good number 2. In Toronto, he was a good number 2. But when I think about...
Pascal and Randall the same, bro, dominance-wise.
The only reason I can't suggest that is Randall, throughout the course of the Golden State series, carried that Timberwolves team.
Bro, I have 40.
Randall throughout, not against the Warriors. He had 40 against the Lakers.
38.
So I'm just saying, Ant has done nothing for me, Rachel, this playoffs to move my opinion higher of him.
Well, look,
I don't think that's an unfair statement.
If you spend time with the Wolves, you talk to the guys around the locker room, he does make his teammates better. He has shown uncanny leadership for being as young as he is. He's great at pumping guys up. He knows how to sort of distribute in terms of, not hogging the ball at times to get guys confidence at the beginning of games. And he just elevates the team with his charisma so much. I don't think you give up on Anthony Edwards.
No.
They're playing this elite team.
But has your opinion of him changed? Like, it hasn't, for me, it hasn't elevated. He's done nothing this playoff run to say he's better
But is
this
it-
year than he was last
But is
year.
it because of your expectations for him?
Of
Well, you know
course.
why?
So
It's
that's
why it hasn't
It's because
changed.
they're not playing the Knicks or the Pacers. If they were playing a different kind of team, you might see Ant ball out and have a crazy game. They are playing a team with a bunch of Dr. Octopuses. You're not going to have that kind of
But
game.
even the Warriors, explain that one to me, because even against the Warriors, Ant-Man did not show up.
But they won the series.
Yeah, and you didn't win a series. Maybe he didn't have to do much. But this real quick is what James said. I was thought about it. So, like, Haliburton, like, how high did you think of him? You know what I'm saying, before this year?
I thought he was a top 20 player, not a top 10 player, not a top 5 player.
I wouldn't have said top 20, but that's good. That's cool, right? But Ant-Man, it's like, we're not
I would have thought Ant was a top 7 player. Like,
But what I'm saying is, like, because you think of him so highly, like even Brunson. Until Brunson got to New York, you ain't know
course
nothing.
not.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
But I think that's why I think that even you saying that to me, it's like you giving him credit because off the rip, I thought you were so good and so high that I had you up here. Yeah. With them other guys, you had them guys down here. Nobody was.
agreed.
But not only that though, we all picked the Lakers until we seen game one.
Yeah.
We all picked the Lakers. Nobody picked Anthony Edwards to be in the Western Conference Finals. They barely got in the playoffs. It was an up and down team all year long. They barely got in the playoffs. And when they got in the playoffs, we like, man, if Anthony Edwards could get through Steph and LeBron and Luka and all that, he gonna be the face. Like my man in the Western Conference Finals, I just think we think so high of Ant, and Ant is so much of a bigger superstar, especially going into the playoffs than Brunson was and Hallie was.
Yeah.
So the expectation for him is so high, but he is in the Western Conference Finals where a lot of us didn't think he was going to be. But like Rachel said, he's just running into a big dog.
That's fair.
But you just can't confuse star
it.
power with sort of play on the court, right?
Right.
Ant
Yes.
has all the star power. He's
Yes.
not quite at the SGA level of play on the court.
And that's a very good distinction. A very good distinction. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.